Beyond modernism, film in a postmodern state refers to the shift in cinema from modernist ideas, where films aim to create meaning through structure, to postmodern approaches that embrace uncertainty, playfulness, and self-awareness. I will be exploring how historical and social events changed the formation of films and the transition from modernism to postmodernism. Modernist films, emerging in the 20th century, focused on clear, structured narratives with a beginning, middle, and end. They follow Lyotard's grand narrative theory, which is the idea that stories provide meaning and order to the world. The Wizard of Oz is a prime example, as it uses a clear, strict three-act structure and sends the message,
"There's no place like home,"
which is a traditional American ideal. Released during the Great Depression, its colorful world offered audiences much-needed escapism from the harsh realities of their lives. World War II and its aftermath heavily influenced modernist cinema. Rear Window was released during the Cold War, reflects societal fears of surveillance and paranoia, mirroring the era's concerns about privacy and distrust through its prominent themes of voyeurism. Likewise, Some Like It Hot captures post-war social changes, particularly shifting gender roles as women entered the workforce. Though the film was credited with its role in ending the Hays Code, it still reinforced sexist stereotypes through Sugar Kane's character. Lisbeth Van Zunen states in Western society to be looked at as the fate of women, while the act of looking is reserved for men. These films embody Lyotard's grand narrative concept by reinforcing cultural values, whether through storytelling structure in The Wizard of Oz, surveillance anxieties in Rear Window, or gender expectations in Some Like It Hot. Modernist cinema captured society's beliefs, shaping the formation of film at this time. By the late 20th century, cinema began shifting from modernism to postmodernism, influenced by growing skepticism towards traditional narratives and societal changes like second-wave feminism. Women were challenging traditional gender roles, leading to films with strong female protagonists like Jackie Brown and Kill Bill. This shift aligns with Jameson's concept of style over substance, where aesthetics and self-awareness took priority over traditional meaning. Tarantino's Pulp Fiction is a key example of this, embracing a nonlinear narrative, intertextuality, and pop culture references. During this period, postmodern films moved away from the classic structure of modernism films, reflecting a cultural shift caused by increasing skepticism toward authority and grand narratives. Baudrillards defined hyperreality as the generation by models of a real without origin or reality, where the media's storytelling blurs the line between reality and fiction. Natural Born Killers highlights this as the film exaggerates characters to reflect and critique society's obsession with crime. This film stands as a product of the late modernist era but fully embraces postmodern themes, making it a key example of cinema moving beyond modernism into a postmodern state. These films introduced more experimental cinematography and storytelling techniques, such as nonlinear narratives, pastiche, and self-referential humor, which are important features of postmodern cinema. Technological advancements and globalization meant film form became more experimental as time went on. Post-colonialism in cinema explores the lasting effects of colonialism on culture and identity, often highlighting themes of inequality. Slumdog Millionaire illustrates the impact of British colonialism on India, showcasing social divides and economic struggles rooted in its colonial past. Similarly, Ill Manners portrays the struggles of marginalized communities in London, shaped by immigration and cultural tensions. Postmodernism in cinema is a movement that emerged in the late 20th century as a reaction against the structured, grand narratives of modernism. It challenges traditional storytelling through fragmentation, self-awareness, and intertextuality. French philosopher Lyotard introduced the concept of postmodernism in his book, The Postmodern Condition, a report on knowledge, where he argued that society had grown skeptical of overarching narratives, leading to a more subjective and diverse approach to storytelling. Key characteristics of postmodern cinema include nonlinear narratives, self-reflexivity, intertextuality, hyperreality, and pastiche. These elements allow filmmakers to break traditional structures and create stories challenge traditions and are extremely entertaining. For example, Baudrillard's concept of hyperreality is displayed in films like Ready Player One, which depicts a world where people escape their harsh lives through a simulated reality. Another key postmodern idea is bricolage, introduced by theorist Levi Strauss, which refers to the blending of different styles, genres, and influences to create something new. In cinema, this is seen in films like Her, which mixes romance and sci-fi to explore human connection in a technological age. In 2025, people have been questioning whether cinema has transcended postmodernism. In a time marked by political shifts, it feels like we're heading backwards in progression. Donald Trump's re-election, the decrease of women's rights, increasing class division, and the looming threat of global conflict mirror the societal structure that created modernist cinema. Robert McKee theory, the principles of story, argues that with the uncertainty of today's world, audiences have begun to crave structure and classic storytelling again. Oppenheimer is an example of a recent film that mimics modernism's ideals of following a structure with strong cause and effect. Cinema has evolved significantly, moving beyond the structured narratives of modernism into the experimental, self-aware style of postmodernism. However, with today's political and social climate, the question remains, have we truly moved beyond modernism, or are we returning to it?